Okay. do we want to address the fact that we're drinking gin and tonics?
Yeah.
Or we're keeping it, is it supposed to be water?
Oh no, we'll address.
Okay.
So, should we start with like a
short little
just like a short little hello?
Yeah.
You know.
After you.
Hi guys,
Hello.
and welcome to my channel, Maddie's channel, whichever channel you are viewing this on.
Yes.
We're back.
We're back.
Hopefully better than ever.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Do we want to talk about it?
Let's explain.
So we'll address.
We will address
the fact that we got a little too drunk.
Yeah.
The last time we filmed our mukbang vegan au pair tea spill. And the video was an hour and 16 minutes long.
And it was an hour and 16 minutes of us just like talking smack.
Literally.
Like there was no there was information, but I think not the information you were probably looking for.
I think it would have it was more something that we needed to talk about.
We needed to let it out.
We really needed to get it out and have that moment. Yeah. Lanta needs to chill. So now we're back with a new beverage of choice, gin and tonics. And this is our first, so we're gonna tread carefully into the dark night.
We're chilling, we're here. We have questions prepared this time.
Yeah, well, we've got a structure. We're
growing as YouTubers.
Growing, learning, improving every day. So
yes,
we are not gonna keep this intro too long.
Exactly. We're
moving along. We're moving along quickly.
And we are here to answer some questions about being au pairs.
Yeah.
We want to give you some good information in case you are...
And a little tea.
A little tea.
Some piping hot, some just simmering.
Yes. Exactly.
But, yeah, we're gonna answer some questions for you guys and tell you about how we became au pairs, our thoughts about au pairing, why we chose France. Just, there's some real... Those were the non-juicy ones. We've got some juicy ones in there as well.
Yes.
So...
Okay, question number 1.
How are we gonna do this? Right? You answer, then I answer? Or...
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
You go first, girl.
Oh, okay.
Okay. How did you find out about au pairing?
So I found out about au pairing because I actually just really wanted to move to France. I had this idea of moving to Paris in my head, and I would look up blogs and things. I would go online and just type in how to move to Paris, and I found a website that was 12 ways to move to France, and one of them said au pairing, and I had never heard of it, so I just kind of read the article and then made an account on a website, and the rest is history.
Yeah, mine was kind of similar. I just really was interested in moving abroad, traveling, didn't have enough money to travel, so I was looking for a job abroad. And one of my sister's friends was an au pair in Spain, so I reached out to her and just asked her what the sitch was. I think that kind of brings us into our next question of what made you choose France?
So I kind of already touched on this, but I came to France when I was 18 for the first time, and I just fell in love with Paris. Came back when I was 19 on my own. Came back when I was 20 with a friend, and then I was stop spending all your money on plane tickets to get there. Just spend the money one time to get there and stay. And so I was just, that's why I became one, that's why I chose France.
Yeah, that's
why I chose France.
Amazing. I chose France because I minored in French in college, so.
Oh.
Yes, I could already parler petit peu français.
I was gonna say go off, but I'm trying to stop saying that because the amount of times I said it.
Yeah. Oh.
I edited it out in the last video.
And the video just kept getting sloppier and sloppier, and it was
that's how I felt. It was just downhill.
Yeah. It was the wine. Wine ugh.
It's a different kind of drunk.
It's
not
breed.
A clear-headed gin and tonic.
This gin and tonic. That is absolutely delicious, by the way.
Ooh.
Okay, so how did you become an au pair? And how did you find your host family?
So I became an au pair by using the website www.aupairworld.com.
Me too. Sponsor us.
Don't. So I found the family on there, and I was contacted by a few families, and then you kind of just message back and forth with them, see if what you're looking for matches what they're looking for, and then you kind of arrange a Skype session.
Yeah.
So after that, I think this is pretty similar for both of us.
Yeah.
I arranged a Skype session. I Skyped with the family like 2-3 times, which is insane to think that you go and move into someone's home in a foreign country that you don't know after Skyping 2 or 3 times. But that is what I did, and that's how I became an au pair. And then,
I mean, mine's the exact same story because I just want to make it really clear that we had the same family. So mine was really similar, and I guess the only like kind of like the first bit of like advice or whatever is every family is putting their best foot forward. So
just everything is not as it seems.
Yes, exactly. So exactly same situation, same story. Au pair world. So,
Aupairworld.com.
Okay, so this is kind of getting into like some of like the more detailed parts of being an au pair. How much did you get paid, Kira?
So the minimum salary that you have to be paid as an au pair is 80 euros a week. Mm-hmm. And when you do all of your visa paperwork, you're also required to register in French courses. And the French courses are expensive. They're like hundreds and hundreds of euros. Yeah. And I don't know about y'all, but I'm not just sitting on hundreds and hundreds of euros for French courses as I'm trying to move across the world. So I talked with the family because I had read about some people who get their classes paid for. Mm-hmm. And so I kind of just made it clear, like, hey, listen, I don't think that I can pay for the full amount of the classes. Like, can we split 50-50, or is there anything that we can do, to work this out? And so they offered to pay for half of my classes, which I thought was really nice. But then I got there and they're like, and I had the money like ready to give them. And I think I would have rather done that. But what they did to me, and they didn't give me the option. They're like, so for the other half of your courses, what we're going to do is just dock your pay 20 euros a week, which doesn't sound like a lot. But when you only have 80 and you're living on that, it's a quarter of your money. It's like
a lot.
It's a night out. It's whatever. And so I only got paid 60 euros actually until from like August to December. And then I stopped going to the French classes. So I got my extra 20 euros back for the other half of the year and made 80.
And like in retrospect, like obviously same for me. In retrospect, it discourages you from going to French classes. I mean, first of all, maybe you don't want to go to classes because they're kind of boring.
I stopped going in October.
Yeah. But it also discourages you because it's saying like if you want money, you should not go to class. Yeah. Like I don't know. It's like it seems like a much better system just to give them the money up front. But yeah, so that's...
But a much better tip would just be to find a family who's willing to pay for the courses for you. Yeah. Because there's so many families that are, or you can just kind of like put it as a hard limit. Like I can only do this if you do, and I'm sure they will. Honestly. Right. If they have enough money to have an au pair, they have enough money to pay for your French classes.
And just like...
Hot take.
I don't know, it's like 80 is the minimum.
The minimum. And so some people get paid quite a bit more.
Yes. But that's true. But it's like just
not the average. Okay.
The mentality of like, we're gonna literally pay you the bare minimum, because that's
when you know that these like they both, at least for the family that we worked for, they both had high paying jobs. One was a banker, one was like an executive assistant, I think. Yeah. Which in France is huge. Like they were making like big money. And so like, you know that like 80 euros to them is like pocket change basically, but whatever. Next question.
Anyways,
not better.
What was your living situation like?
I want you to go in.
Okay.
First.
So let me start. Okay, so we lived with our family. With our host family, we lived in a house outside in the suburbs.
Like 30-40 minutes outside of not central Paris, but outside of Paris. So maybe like an hour from central Paris.
Yes, like on the RER.
Yeah, on the train.
Yes. So we lived in a house, and we lived in the attic essentially.
Literally, like imagine Cinderella's room.
Yeah, like a tiny little room that was like more meant to be, I would say, like a storage room.
Oh yeah, 100. Well, it was their storage room actually, because they kept all of their stuff under the bed. Yes. So we actually couldn't even use the storage that the room provided.
Yes.
Fun fact.
It was just like a room, like
slanted wall.
Heavily
slanted. Yes. Like so slanted that you like hit your head every morning.
Yes.
When you wake up.
And like I don't know. It was just there was like nowhere to put your things.
Yeah.
Like it was just very bare bones. And even, like, I forgot to mention this earlier, this is kind of, like, Okay, in the bathroom of the home, like the bathroom, there was a communal bathroom that you would share with the two kids.
With everyone.
Yeah,
It's
actually
not
with everyone.
Yeah, with everyone.
But like the sink area, like there was nowhere like where you could put
Anything.
your belongings. Like
No.
there was not a drawer cleaned out. Like it was like if
I
you
had a drawer.
Oh, well, I didn't get a drawer, so
Maybe because I didn't use the drawer. Because I didn't want to like be in.
Yeah.
It's
okay,
like the kids.
Okay.
It's
yes.
the kids' space, so
Yeah.
and like
It's the
not
kids'
like
bathroom.
it's the kids' space, and you can use it. It's like it's the kids' space, and like you can use it if you
And
need
you
to,
can-
have to, by all means.
And you.
No, but okay, so we were discussing the house,
Yes.
and we were discussing kind of like the living situation, how the bathroom isn't really your bathroom,
Yes.
and we wanted to very concisely just explain that you want your own bathroom.
Yeah.
Trust
Yeah.
me. Like, you may think it's not that big of a deal. Trust me when I say it's something that you're gonna take for granted, and you
Yes.
absolutely want your own
Yes.
bathroom if you can't have your own
Yes.
place.
I would say briefly, try to live out, find out about the bathroom. Finny. Okay, so the next one is tell a horror story about your host family or kids.
Okay, so I told this in the last video we filmed. It was very long, so I'm gonna try to like shorten her up. But
Sure.
basically, when I had just started, maybe like 1 or 2 months in, the family requested that I begin to take the kids to swim class. And when I say requested, I mean they asked, but you aren't allowed to say no. So that's just that on that. And we were there maybe like 1 or 2 months, and one of the girls would swim, and I had to watch the younger girl. And her mom was really strict about her like doing her activities. Like, I couldn't just like let her chill. Even if she wanted to chill, she had to do something. So she didn't want to do her activity. She's like, I don't feel good. And I was like, no, like, come on, like, color. And she's like, no, I don't want to. So I was like, okay, fine, just like chill. You can sit in my lap and we'll just hang out and be calm. And then she all of a sudden like looks at me and was like, I don't feel good. And I was like, well, it's gonna be okay. And then and she just pukes all over herself, all over me, all over the floor. No. And there are maybe like 30 other adults like standing around, and children just like staring at me. And I like did not have the experience with kids prior to this, like that would be necessary to handle this situation effectively.
Yeah.
So I'm freaking out. I don't know what to do. I'm trying to like grab the stuff because I know the mom would get mad if I like left the stuff there. So I'm trying to like grab her stuff. I'm trying to grab the girl, but I don't want to pick her up because she's puking. I've got puke on me. So she's just like trailing like a horror movie, like a trail of puke, like bleh, 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 like all the way down to the bathroom. And I'm worried too because I'm like, do I have to clean that up? I don't know. Yeah. And so then I'm like taking her down. I take her to the bathroom and I put her like in the sink basically. And she has like her shoes on. Obviously she's fully dressed. She just like thrown up all over herself. So I'm just trying to get her clean. And this French lady like comes over to me and she starts yelling at me because her shoes are on the counter. And like how this is so improper and inappropriate and that I am clearly doing something very, very wrong. And I almost threw hands. I almost threw
Not the time.
hands. Like, woman, I don't care if you are 60. Do you see that I'm covered in throw up, that she is covered in throw up, and this is clearly not like an ideal situation for you to be sharing your opinions on whether or not shoes belong on counters?
Yeah, it's...
But, you know...
I'm happy you told that story because when you first told it, I thought that she threw up in the bathroom. I didn't realize she threw up like in the waiting area.
Oh, like in the waiting area, like
upstairs,
like above, like it's like an observation deck where you watch people swim.
Oh,
and then
it's like pretty small, so
it's really
like,
small.
See you,
like it's fully just a rectangle where people have like chairs and that's it.
That is a horror story.
So that was god awful.
So mine is more like behavioral related. So like trying to keep it like once again like brief. Here we go. So long story short, I realized when we got home one day, the dad was like, "Where's the car key?" And I was like, "Oh, it's on the counter." And he was like, "No, it's not," or like on the little like stand.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
And I was like, "Oh, well, I left it there." And he was like, "Well, it's not there." And I was like, "That's really weird." So basically, they think that I've like lost the car key. And they're like making this big scene about how like it's expensive to replace, yada yada, blah blah blah. So it's like a week has gone by. I'm literally like dumping. I'm searching my room thoroughly. I'm searching everywhere, like where I've been. I'm like looking in like just like the most absurd places for
I
the
just
key.
know they would make this like the hugest deal too. Like you would
Yes.
feel like this was the end
yes.
of the world.
And like I could like feel it like at nighttime, like at dinner, I felt like they were so mad at me, and they would be like, "Have you found the key? Have you found the key?" And I was like, "I'm not at the key." So then the next week, I noticed that my house key goes missing because I'm looking for it, and I'm like, "Oh,
coincidental, eh?"
Literally, so coincidental. So my house key goes missing. I'm like, "Oh, the mom, like, did you use my house key to lock the door?" And she's like, "No," and I was like, "Oh, okay." So I'm like looking for my house key, and their attitude was like, "You lost another thing."
100%.
And I was like,
like, God forbid you ever make the same mistake twice.
Right, but I was like, this is just like, I was like, it's just like too crazy, which is kind of the conclusion my mom came to. I was talking to my mom, and I was telling her, and I was like, I don't know what to do. Like, I lost the car key and the house key, and my mom was like, no way. And my mom told me, she was like, go into the kids' rooms and look through their stuff, and you'll find it. My mom was like, I swear on my life, you will find it.
A mother's instinct.
Oh, my mom like knew.
That intuition.
Knew. And so I like went through the older one's room because I knew.
Yeah, of course.
And I was like, I was literally like doing the same thing. I was taking boxes out of her closet and dumping them on the floor and going through them because I was like, I know it's in. Like, I just like, and then I could feel it too, you know. I'm going through the coats. I hear it. I get it out of her pocket. The key was in the coat pocket of a coat that she like never wears. So she like went and hid
like
it.
Clearly like did
like
that on purpose.
Yeah, like I didn't like, I would never give her the car key if I was driving. And like, anyways, so I text the parents and I'm like, oh my gosh, I found the car key, and they're like in the girl's room, like in her coat pocket, and they're like, oh my gosh, yay, I'm so happy you found
a reaction.
it. Like I was expecting them to be like, oh my gosh, like she hit it, like
she's gonna get it.
Because
like
it had been like a topic of like conversation at dinner, like where's the key, where's the key. And so then I ended up asking the other girl, like I was I told them I found the car key, and I asked both of the girls, I was like, where's my house key, like I know you have it, like where is it?
So like I feel like you like sat them down like an interrogation.
I sat them down and I was like, you need to tell me where the key is because I know you have it. And so the younger one was like, and so she went and showed me it was hidden under the Christmas tree skirt. And so I got both my keys back, and the parents like weren't even gonna discipline them.
Like not phased. Like
they were like weren't gonna discipline them, but I was like, I'm upset. Like you need to have a discussion because I'm upset. So that was like kind of a horror story of sorts. I mean, like it made me. Really,
I get it because I feel like even if it doesn't sound dramatic to the viewers, I know it's like when you're an au pair, also everything is magnified to like the 100th degree. So even things that you think that you would never ever feel upset over,
right?
You get so upset over. It's insane.
Exactly.
Next cue.
The next cue. Okay. How did the kids behave? How did you deal with it when they behaved badly?
I think this is where I like insert crickets.
Yeah, this is like a hard question because we could like go on.
Yeah, I also don't want to like trash them because we honestly did that in the last video for like an hour and 16 minutes and we just don't need to rehash.
No.
But what I will say is that they were very poorly behaved.
I mean, okay, but like let's like poorly behaved.
And that's nice.
It was
no, they were literally fucking terrible.
Insanity. Like, it was insanity.
Like they fought each other. They would try to like fight me. There was lots of screaming, lots of crying, lots of like meltdowns, but over like minuscule things, over like the smallest things. And I understand like kids will be kids, you know what I mean? Like they get upset over small things and things feel like the end of the world to them, but it wasn't just like normal behavior. Mm-hmm. Like I would say that at least the older one definitely had some like some behavioral issues that like needed to be dealt with in a capacity that was not like a 21-year-old au pair.
Like professional help was needed.
So yeah, like how I would deal with it, I am probably like a little bit insane and like would take like a psychological approach, which obviously doesn't work with children.
That's insane though. Like,
but like you know, like that's just me as a person. Like I would after the meltdown, which in that case I would just pick them up and like put them in their room and like hold the door shut because they would be like
I would do that too.
Going like this.
Yeah. And
I would just hold the door shut and be like, okay, well, when you're calm, we can talk. But until you're calm, until you're done crying, like we're not gonna there's no conversation to be had here. And then afterwards I would just like sit them down and be like, okay, so like, why was that wrong? Like, why was what you did wrong? And like, how do you feel about your reaction? And what do we know, like what have we learned from this going forward that we can like then apply to the next situation? Which, don't get me wrong, it literally never worked one time, but I would at least like to think that on some psychological level it helped.
Yes.
But who knows?
Like,
and you, how did you deal with it, these pleasant angelic children?
I definitely dealt with it in a similar way where, I mean, I feel like at first I would like lose my temper a lot. I would just like lose my mind because they were like so crazy and so bad. But then after a while I was like, you know what, like
you
like,
kind of reach like a point
where you're like, you know what, it's not worth
like,
it's not worth my time, it's not worth my energy. Like, and it would almost like make them more mad when
you're like, you're not gonna break me down today.
I was like okay. I was like, yeah, sure. Like, if you want to throw your backpack, like, sure, do it.
If you want to cry,
like, fine,
enjoy.
It's fine. Like, I don't care.
Doesn't affect me.
Yeah, I was like, it's not my life. Like, you can ruin your afternoon. Yeah. So I don't know. Like, it was really hard.
A handful.
Like, we've talked about this. Like, we both cried. Like, I would cry many times. I would cry in my room, like, all the time.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
Next cue.
Okay. Did you ever lie to the family about anything?
Only all of the time.
Yeah.
Like, we're not gonna discuss
just like things we cannot discuss on camera. But
not trying to get demonetized.
Yeah, but there was definitely some things that I mean, there's like one thing I have in my mind. That's like,
I have a few things too, but like, no,
like,
we're just not gonna get into that. But they in short, yes, yes, there were lies told.
Yes. Okay. Honest opinion about the au pair community. That's kind of interesting.
Yeah, that's interesting because there is a huge community. Like, I think in Paris, there's got to be like at least 5,000 to 10,000 au pairs every year.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna put numbers on it, but I mean, like,
no,
there
I think
is
in
like
my like au pair group for like 2018, because there's a lot of people join these like Facebook groups and stuff like that to like make friends. There was like 7,000 members.
That's
so
crazy.
And I doubt like every au pair is like joining this group. Right. So,
and like being an au pair and like there's so like having an au pair in Paris is like, I mean, it's huge.
And so it's a big
in Paris and the surrounding suburbs.
Yeah. So I think like my general thoughts are that it's fun for a time. It's like the au pair community is fun for like a year, or maybe 2, depending on how old you are. I just think after a while, like, it does get kind of tiring because like people leave every year. So if you stay, I think it's kind of like you're just constantly saying goodbye to people. But I think when you're here and you're in your year au pairing, it's so fun.
Amazing. Like,
it's so fun.
Like, I made like some, like, I feel like
such great friends.
Like, people I'll know for like probably like the rest of my life. Like,
and there's like a bar near the house that we like both worked at where like au pairs got a discount and stuff like that. Fun. And so like every Friday night, all the like local au pairs would like just go to that bar and just get like trash. Yeah,
and just like let it out. Like, let it out.
Grand time. So I think it's nice because there is a community, so you have people to like commiserate with, you know. It's like everyone bonds over shared misery, like a sense of camaraderie.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, and also it's very like big, but it's very small. Yeah, like all au pairs kind of know each other.
I will say that like I'm like a teaching assistant this year, so like the teaching assistant community is definitely like a different kind of people. So I definitely
different goals and reasons for being in France.
Like a lot, So like the au pair community is more like fun, like party, like
clubbing,
like Europe or year.
Yeah, like having a year abroad. Yeah.
So if you want to find like people who are down for a good time, like
I don't like most au pairs aren't coming to au pair because of their love for children. We'll just put it that way.
No. Okay. Did you actually enjoy being an au pair? Complicated.
It's complicated. It is complicated. I don't feel like I enjoyed being an au pair.
No, no one likes being an au pair. Like the actual au pair.
Yeah, the actual au pairing is like unenjoyable entirely. Yeah. But like the experience of being an au pair, like you have so much free time, you get to meet friends, you're in a different country, you have access to like so many things that you didn't before, you can travel a lot more, like there's so many benefits that like I loved the experience, but I detested being an actual au pair, living in a family's house, and like watching children was definitely not something I will ever do again in my life.
It's really cool to be able to like, I mean, even though living in the house was obviously sometimes like not really ideal. It is like it's such a unique experience.
Yeah.
To like live in the house with some like,
especially with like a different culture.
yes, another culture, and you can kind of see like how they operate, like what do they do with like their family, and like what, do they eat
what
for
the
dinner?
family environment is like.
So that's like really interesting. Like that's something I feel like is invaluable. So yeah,
so
like
next question.
Exactly. Next question. Exactly. What did you do in your free time between taking care of the kids?
I feel like these are flowing so nicely.
Yes. Yes.
In my free time, I really like, you just hang out with friends so much. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like I hung out with friends every single day, which is crazy because I feel like I'm not even like an extroverted person. Like, I do love to have friends, but like I also really like my alone time. But I hung out with people every day, all the time. Like, all you want is to get out of the house. So I definitely hung out with friends. We would go to like museums, because all museums are free for people under 26 years old in the EU.
So nice.
So we would go to museums. We would just walk around. We just walked.
Yeah,
Just like walked like everywhere all the time. Drank. A healthy amount. Picnicked. And then once I like met my now husband, I just spent like a great deal of time with him as well. So that was kind of what I did in my free time.
I mean, like, similar here. I like hung out with friends. Like, I mean, like, I remember just like always texting people and being like,
what are you doing?
Like, what are you doing? Do you want to get a coffee? Because all the au pairs have a similar schedule. So it's like, do you want to get a coffee? Do you want to like just like go to lunch?
Because basically you probably will work in the morning until like 8:30ish, and then you have off until like 4, and then you work until like 8. And like, so you have your whole day and then your evening free every day except for Wednesdays, in which you work like all day long.
All day, pretty much.
So you work from like 8 to like 8, which is horrid.
Rough day.
You always get drunk on Wednesdays.
Yes, always go out
on
Wednesday.
Fun au pair tip.
Fun little tip. Always go out for like wine on
Wasted Wednesday. Wine on Wednesdays. I was wasted Wednesdays, but definitely,
and then also like just like a little like fun little thing I did. I trained for a half marathon.
I was gonna say, like, you have to talk about this.
Okay, I will.
Because in my mind I was like, you did so much more than I did. Like, no. You
like,
went and did a whole damn like half marathon.
No, so I trained for a half marathon because it was like the perfect schedule of like get up in the morning, take the kids to school, and then I was like awake, so then I could like do like different runs and things.
And I lived in like a nice area too, with like a lot of woods and like a lot of trails. Which I didn't take advantage of, but
there was like the perfect trail by the Seine.
I know which one you're talking
about. That just went like so long, and it was like perfect running. So yeah, so I did a half marathon, so that was really like, and I had never done one before, so it was very memorable
and time consuming.
Yeah, very time consuming too. So yeah, I did that. How did you make friends as an au pair?
It's a good question. I made friends like in my classes. Like I made friends, like I guess like my 2 best friends here I made like in my class, and then we all kind of like stopped going. But I don't think that we were all in the same class. I think one girl was in like a different class but at the same time or something, so we would all like hang out afterwards and like get food as like a group, and she would be there, and then we became really close. My other good friend I met at the dance class of the girls that I watched. So like she had she was an au pair for a kid that had dance class at the same time that I did, and it was so weird because I had actually seen her like my first day. This is like the weird things that happen. One of my first days in Paris, like you have to go and you need to like submit your forms to like when you register for the classes and get your books and stuff. And when I was there, which is inside of Paris, I saw her, and I remember, I almost said his name, the dad, like, looked at her paperwork, because he was like, I saw she lives, like, in the same place, like, she lives in, like, La Bazenay, like, you guys could maybe be friends. And I was like, I don't need you to make friends for me, like, this is weird.
Thanks.
Like, this is creepy. And then I saw her at the dance class, and I, like, obviously knew it was her.
Crazy.
And this was, like, weeks later, but, like, I remembered because he was so keen on, like, me being friends with her. And so I obviously remembered her, and then we became really, really good friends. Shout out Kenzie. Not that she would ever watch these videos. She's on social media, but how'd you make friends?
So mine was definitely, I feel like my experience making friends was very like singular, because so both of us had a Swedish family who lives across the street.
I was really good friends with her as well. Yeah. Shout out Moa.
Yes. Shout out to Moa. So on my first day when I arrived, this girl like came and knocked at the door. And I was like, oh, like, bonjour, like, comment allez-vous? And she was like, oh, like, I don't speak French. And I was like, oh.
Thank God.
I was like, oh. Like, I got excited. I was like, oh. Like, she said it in English. And I was like, oh my gosh, like, who are you? Like, what are you doing? She's like, oh, I'm the au pair from across the street. My kids just want to know if they could, like, play. with your kids, and
Or
we
like best friends.
like besties. And so we just like were walking up and down the street, and she's from Sweden, and so I was just like talking to her, and her name's Julia. And so then literally I think that happened on Saturday, and then on Monday I texted Julia and I was like, oh, what are you doing, like do you want to like hang out today? She was like, I'm actually going to like a meetup, like a Swedish meetup in like a suburb.
These are very common, by the way, these like meetups.
Yeah, like meetups. And I was like, oh, is it cool like if I come, because I'm like not Swedish? And she was like, yeah, of course. So we went to the meetup, and I literally met like my best friends like that day. Like,
that's so nice.
and then I didn't really like, I don't know, I guess like after I met like that group of people.
You kind of just meet people when you're out.
Yeah.
Au pairs, like Alice Sullivan's and stuff like that.
Yeah, at the au pair bar.
Yeah, the au pair bar. You can just meet people like.
But I would say like it's like classes, bars.
Classes, neighbors, whatever your kids' activities are, and then like bars. And then if you can't find friends, then go onto like those Facebook groups and go to the meetups.
Okay, wildest story from when you were an au pair.
I don't even know. Like, that's so hard. Like, I'll just give a corny answer instead. Right. Because, like, I probably couldn't actually tell my wildest story today. But, no, the wildest thing that happened to me when I was an au pair was, like, definitely, I met my now husband. I met him. We fell in love. We're married now.
Yes.
And that's pretty wild. Because
that is crazy.
I never wanted to get married or anything. So that's pretty wild,
that is wild
for me. If we met like on like the real wild side of life, I cannot disclose that information within this video.
Yeah, I mean, there have been some nights. There have been some things.
Yeah.
Let's just say, like, I mean,
if you like to club,
if you like to just like go out and have a good time,
like Paris is your place.
Paris has some good places.
100.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, that no specific story.
Yeah, just can't. Yeah, I can't disclose on camera. I can't disclose on camera.
Yeah. Agreed.
Great. Favorite thing about being an au pair and least favorite?
Favorite thing about being an au pair was probably like the time and experience, like, because you have so much free time, you can really do a lot of things, like, or you could not do a lot of things, like you could just literally sit in your bed and watch Netflix for a year, which I feel like some people really need, like, that's fine.
Like,
you know, but like having the ability to have free time was so crazy for me, because I had been working and going to school full time for so many years at that point, that like the concept of free time and being able to just like do what I wanted was like my favorite part when I was an au pair. And my least favorite part was the family and the kids. Sorry.
Yeah, I would definitely say like my favorite part was like definitely like the flexibility, because you definitely have that feeling of like you can kind of like do with it what you want, you know, like you can just like chill, like you can
watch Netflix, you can train for a half marathon.
Yeah, you can like hang out with friends if you want.
Hang out with friends, learn French, like there's shop, go to museums, there's travel, there's you have so many opportunities.
So many like opportunities, possibilities. It's really like amazing. Least favorite, definitely like just living in a place for a year where you never get comfortable.
That's a better answer than mine, but yes, I totally agree.
You never get comfortable.
It's like you feel like you're consistently like walking on eggshells in your own home, which just feels like if you lived alone, especially before it, I think it's very hard to go from that to go to like the complete opposite.
Yeah. Anyways, okay, so last question.
We've made just cheers to the last.
We've been having a lot of problems.
I almost want to cry.
Like, we've been having a lot of problems.
The last video was a failure. We filmed the first half of this video. We lost like 20 minutes of footage.
Yeah.
So we've been it's just been a lot to get to this point.
It's been a lot.
But we're dedicated.
But here we are with our last question. Let me read it.
Read it to the people.
What is the most valuable thing you got out of your experience being an au pair?
That's a good last question.
It's a very good last question.
I mean, I guess I have to say, like, my husband.
You have to say that.
I can't really say anything else. Like, obviously, he's the most, like, valuable, person in my entire life. So, if I never would have, like, moved to France, if I never would have au paired, I never would have met him, and I never would have had, like, this experience with him that I've had. So, yeah, that's definitely, like, easily the most valuable thing. But on another note, I would say, like, the ability to understand another culture, the ability to feel uncomfortable in a in a different place and like grow from it and not hide from it.
Like, value is like something really hard to be like quantified or explained, but I just feel like the most valuable, well, first of all, I fell in love also.
Yeah.
I feel like I should definitely mention that also, and I'm living with my boyfriend that I met then as well. So definitely like my relationship with him has been a wild ride, to say the least, and I've learned a lot from him also. But definitely the most valuable things I've learned, kind of like what Kira talked about, was just like putting yourself out there and trying something new, and that feeling of like discovery and like curiosity,
like being comfortable with being uncomfortable.
Like kind of like, I don't know, it kind of becomes addictive in a way where you kind of feel like I'm like kind of searching for that feeling of like what's
like
new,
what's next, like time to move again.
Yeah, like what can I do
then like
next?
also not, I don't need to get another visa.
I also like I really like, I don't know, like I'm still trying to learn French obviously, but I've definitely kind of now I'm like obsessed with like I'm like trying to learn some like Italian and like
me too.
It makes me really like
Italian's definitely next for me as well.
Okay. So we're moving to Italy.
I'm like, should we do like an Italian vlog?
Wait, okay, so
like we go to Italy and try to like speak Italian.
Next video.
Stay tuned. Well, coming in 2020.
Coming in 2020.
I think we could promise that.
Coming in 2020.
We could do at least a weekend. We could bus to like Venice.
Okay.
We could do a weekend. I think that's the perfect note to end it on.
I could not agree more.
Thank you for watching.
Thank you for being here.
Wait.
Thank you to Francois for talking during our conclusion of our video. Okay.
I just want to like finish it, but like I don't know, but like
Yeah.
okay.
Anyways, okay. I thought of something important. If you have more questions, more comments,
drop them down below.
Drop them down below, and we will maybe do a part 2.
Part 2 if you want it.
Maybe we'll make more gin and tonics. Maybe.
I mean, I'm always down for a good G&T, so.
Guys, this has been a long time.
It's been a labor of love, so please give us a like. Throw me a heckin' like.
Like, we filmed an hour and 15 minutes of
content that we just threw away.
Of content, and we just tossed it.
So, like this video, subscribe if you're not already. Thank you for watching. Thanks for sticking around. And we will see you in the next video. And an Italy vlog coming 2020.
We'll see you next time.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Cheers to you.